Tomatin 14-year-old Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. Yay or nay? Stay tuned for the Whiskey Whistle. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, my whiskey curious friends. Welcome to Whiskey Whistle, your wise choice in independent whiskey and spirits reviews, bringing you Tomatin 14 Highland single malt Scotch whiskey, finished in port casks, 46% ABV, unchill filtered, all natural in color. All the bells and whistles have been ticked here. All the boxes have been ticked. And well, we're going to re-review it today. I've already reviewed this way back when. Let's look at this again, shall we? All right, now here on Whiskey Whistle, we'll check out the color of the whiskey, the legs, the nose, the palate, and the finish before giving it a Whiskey Whistle whiskey score. And yes, this was one of my top 5 go-to everyday whiskeys here on Whiskey Whistle. All right, so the color, first of all, let's check that out, shall we? What do you see here for color? It's got a slight pinky hue to it, don't you think? At least that's what I think of this color. It's got the typical whiskey hue, and then there's this added hint of pinky hue, I guess, from those tawny port casks. All right, now the legs. Let's see the legs of this whiskey. Round and round it goes. And we'll go right here. All right, fairly slow beginnings here, not much to see, and then here we see the legs developing. Fairly slow. Now this happens to be my glass that's going to disappear fairly soon, but it seems to be, well, going pretty long here. Not bad. Nice looking legs. On to the nose. Now it's got this real beautiful winey, slightly yeasty, winey scent to it. Added to that, your typical, well, single malt Scotch whiskey scents, like there's a deep toffee in there. Maybe a hint of spent coffee grinds. Some slightly soured apple or pear. So it's got a slightly tart nose to it. Not just sweet, but a tart sweet. And a little bit of these fruit components coming, I guess, partially from that finishing, which I hope was more than just a year or so. I have this feeling that it's got this hint of peat to it. I could be wrong. I think there's a hint of peat in Tomatin. Tomatin, pardon me. All right, well, time to check out the palate. Cheers, everybody. Such a nice whiskey. Fresh, and these little bit of that dried fruitiness, like dried apricots coming, I guess, from that tawny port cask. And I mentioned slightly tart, soured fruits. So I'm getting a little bit of both of those. Some tart fruits like underripe apples, and then also some soured fruits like slightly soured pears, especially those Asian pears. Just a hint dry. This reminds me in some ways to Glendronach in terms of its just innate juiciness. It's a very juicy whiskey. Well, I'm running out of this. Actually, I had a botched little start of a review. There we go. Make sure I have enough. Really nice squeak to that cork. Okay, so we're going to add some water. Not really set up here for comfort for me. All these whiskeys on this tiny little table. It's actually a speaker, Advent speaker. There we go. About 1 milliliter added to a 20 milliliter serve. And with water added, I'm getting a little bit more of this peat content. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a hint of peat in Tomatin. Tomatin? Is it Tomatin? Is it Tomatin? What I hear from people from Scotland is they say Tomatin. Tomatin. Now, some people feel like it does not matter how you say the names of these distilleries. Well, then if your name is Philip, is it okay for me to call you Philippe? If your name is Peter, can I call you Peter? Do you see what I mean? You know, it's a name. It's the name of a product. It's not Campbell's soup. It's Campbell's soup. All right, anyway, that's just my little mini rant. Not much change with the water. Maybe just a hint sweeter. Cheers again. A slight bit sharper with water added, but you're rewarded with, again, I think what I think is that little hint of peat here. Oh, I'm sure that that's slightly peated. I'm getting a little bit of that what I like to call that ethereal quality to this whiskey, which is one of the reasons why I liked it. And it's my second bottle of Tomatin 14-year-old. They're all very good. And I believe a lot of Tomatin goes into blends like Antiquary and some other ones that I have never tried. I would like to try for sure. Okay, here we go. Cheers again. Slightly dusty, dry, little bit of leather, but not very much, just a hint. And a little bit of that coffee grounds coming through on the finish again. Not that I eat coffee grounds. Slightly oily on the palate. Really, really luscious, fruity. Just a mixed bag with this tartness, a little bit of sourness, juiciness. And it really coats the mouth nicely, leaving a little bit of thickness here on the sides of my throat, making me want to swallow. Oops, I swallowed it the wrong way. Oh, don't do that. Be careful when you swallow. Do not let it go down your air pipe. All right, well, it's time to get onto the Whiskey Whistle Whiskey Score. Before I do that, don't forget to click on my emblem right over here to become a subscriber to Whiskey Whistle. Hit the bell up there so you get notified of each Whiskey Whistle. And if you'd like to join the Whiskey Whistle community, then join me on Patreon and become a patron, and you get a few very nice benefits. So check that out on www.patreon.com/whiskey-whistle, okay? All right, so the Whiskey Whistle Whiskey Score for Tomatin 14-year-old. What's that going to be? Well, folks, yes, it's going to be 89 out of 100. Yes, you heard right. 89 out of 100 is the Whiskey Whistle Whiskey Score for this beautiful bottle of Tomatin 14-year-old Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. Gorgeous bottle. Glad I opened that again so I'm free to enjoy quite a bit of that. And then, as everybody who really watches Whiskey Whistle knows, I will save some of that in my Whiskey Whistle archives, a collection of little samples of all the whiskeys that I've tried. And I think I did not get the original 14-year-old into that collection. So happy to have that in there. Interestingly, they updated their bottle design actually the very year that they won. I think it was Distiller of the Year. So pretty brazen, but love this embossed bottle on the back. So they went from a standard, like straight up sort of kind of like that sort of design to something a little bit more fun to hold. I don't know if it's especially such a gorgeous bottle, but very nice, and you can see a lot of the whiskey in there as opposed to having a big fat label as it used to. So I think that's quite nice. All right, well, much ado about nothing here. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate that. Stay tuned for what's to come, and there'll be something a bit different. So check that out. Take care. Goodbye. Thanks for watching Whiskey Whistle. Be sure to subscribe, and don't forget to give this video a like and leave a comment down below. Be sure to stay tuned next time to join me, the host of the show, Mark, as I explore more whiskeys with you. Take care now, and we'll see you next time.